Hello, everybody. I'm Farida Bharmal, by profession a counselor, a graphologist, and life coach. I have started my life, and hello, and thank you for joining in. Hi. So, I have these Friday with Farida talks, and I have around 8, 9 episodes now. I have been uploading them on YouTube, and I would love for you to go and check them out. Another thing I would love for you to know is that, Fatima and I have started marketing for women in business exclusively. It's a free group. If you are a woman in business, I would love for you to go and check out my link. Thirdly, for everybody who's joining in, thank you so much. You are my guest. Okay. At the same time, I want you to understand the person who I am calling is an expert in their field. Okay. You look at any of their profiles, you will understand that they are experts. So, respect, guys, basic respect is really necessary. And I really wish for you to do that. For all of you who end up, who do not see it with us that very time, it's absolutely okay. You can go ahead and watch the entire episode, because today the person who I'm having with you, Shaina Kocher, she she has a number of hats on her head, guys. In fact, I'm going to invite her in, and we are going to talk on certain topics which require an open conversation. हम चाहते हैं कि इस बारे में हम बात करें, ठीक है? So for that matter, I'm going to invite her in. Secondly, a lot of people say कि आप XYZ language में बात करें. We have a diverse crowd. We don't have just one particular crowd. So I do understand, I do respect. Language is not a barrier. For me, it is something which bridges two people together. So definitely we can go ahead with Hindi, we can go ahead with English. So in a few minutes, I'm going to invite Shaina in. Guys, I'm telling you, you are in for a treat, because this lady is just awesome. You should listen to her. You should, there's going to be an amazing conversation with her. Hi, Shaina.
Hello, Farida. Thank you so much for such an amazing platform, I would say, and such an amazing opportunity to come live with you. I know you are a master of your thing, and I really respect you from the core of my heart. And I really would like to welcome all the people who are joining in us today. And I would like them to get everything that we are telling them and offering them, because when you listen with an open heart and with open, you know my eyes of the mind and the open ears, then only the magic happens. So we are here to make you realize that actually miracle happens only if you have eyes to see that.
Absolutely. I think it is so beautifully explained by you, Shaina. In fact, I have seen your journey over these past few months, and I think it is amazing at that point of time. So, first and foremost, Shaina, because our audience don't know you, and I know there are a lot of people who end up joining us or watching the video later. So, I would love for you to introduce yourself to all of us who's watching and who will be watching it later on.
Yeah. So, as you introduced me, my name is Shaina Kocher, and my business name right now, or my brand name, is Mystic Shaina. Now, why this mystic happened? So, a lot of people ask me, what is the meaning of reason that you have to put up this name in front of your name? Because there are so many things, Farida, in this world, in this universe, which we cannot see with our open eyes, naked eyes. There are a lot of things that need to be seen beyond what we see with our logic. When we start to believe in those things which are not physically available, I'm talking about energies, I'm talking about positivity, I'm talking about power of mind, subconscious mind. These are the things that we need to understand, and the moment we understand these things, our life become super easy, these are actually the hacks. you know I remember when my son was 5 6 years old, he used to play a game, GTA Vice City, and it used to have a lot of hacks, and you just need to put one word and the whole game changes. So there are some game changers we have, in our environment. We just need to tap into that energy, and then life becomes super duper easy. So
Absolutely.
my basic thing is to make people believe in themselves. My mission is to make them believe in what is not visible with your logical mind. So believe in miracles, believe in power of yourself or the higher self, and see how amazingly your life changes.
Wow. Can you see the hearts which are coming, for everything which you're
Ah,
saying, Shaina? That's so amazing.
thank
That's
you.
so
Thank you so
totally
much.
awesome. And at
Yeah.
the same time, hacks, as she said, mystic hacks is what, we are going to get out from you, I guess, out here today. So, first and foremost, so as you said, it's Mystic Shaina. I know that you are a law of attraction coach. I know that you are a positivity mentor. I also know that, you have been a TV anchor for Doordarshan. Am I right? Correct. Then
Yes.
worked as a journalism professor for 6 years, and then you even ran an event company. So guys, what I'm trying to tell you here is the kind of expertise these amazing ladies have. So if you have a question, one, I would love for you to be with us till the end. Second, if you have a question, go ahead, ask. See, when we ask questions, it may sound silly for maybe a minute or so, but that person who doesn't ask remains a fool forever. So please go ahead and ask. And for me, Shaina, I'm going to ask one question for you. In fact, I have a list of questions for you. Okay. So I know that you had a talk on body shaming. In fact, I went ahead. मैंने पूरे का पूरा देखा है. ठीक है. Guys, I want you to know कि शाइना ने body shaming पे एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत, she's given a talk on it. उनका YouTube वीडियो पे है, और I would love for you to go and follow Shaina's page. It's known as Mystic Shaina itself. ठीक है. So go ahead and follow her page. So my question to you, Shaina, is that tell us something about body shaming, because it's such a topic के हो रहा है, but हम we are not allowing ourselves to acknowledge it, या फिर हम blind eye turn कर देते हैं. So I would love for you to tell us something about body shaming. Just start with body shaming first.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Before I start my things, I am seeing some messages, and there's a amazing person I know, Gagun Bedi. He's with the, he's on a very good position with the Indian Dance Olympics sports. I think, I'm sorry with the name, but
Okay.
Dance Association kind of a thing, Dance and Sport Association, and he's on a very good rank, and he's watching us. Amazing person and an amazing soul. So thank you for joining in, Gagun Bedi. And why I am giving reference to Gagun? Gagun himself is into fitness and dance and sports, right? So I had a lot of people around me, which has given me a lot of strength. Unknowingly, unconsciously, I've gained a lot of positivity from people around me. So if I go back to my story, as you told people that I've been working with media, rather just before this conversation, before this live, I was giving a special program. Today I just came back from Doordarshan. So what happened that I started my journey at the age of 17 18 years. So I was very slim and everything, and I was getting a lot of good opportunities for me. uh, by the time I got married, I had some issues and I started to put on weight, right? Because I was blessed with an intelligent mind, I would say. So people used to come to me with a lot of opportunities, but now the way of thinking started to change, because my body, there's a stigmatic thing we have in our society. If I talk about India, we know the taboo around good looking girls, and they know, especially for media, they want good looking people, good looking girls, smart girls, very lean thin girls. They had this kind of a image. So when I started to put on weight due to my pregnancy and post pregnancy stress and a lot of other things, people used to somehow started to see me with another eyes. And though I was very good in the work I was doing, Opportunities were coming, but I somehow got to know that something is missing. Now people had something unsaid in their mind. Rather, some told me, why don't you lose your weight, why don't you work on your, you are so intelligent, why don't you focus on your your body now, why are you putting a lot of weight, as if I am doing it consciously. So it was like, I was on a guilt trip. What am I doing wrong? I started to work with all those fat diets and mindless weight loss techniques and a lot of things, and everything starts to work on my mind. I was started losing control. I was very positive since my teenage, but in the journey I started to lose hope. I started to lose charm. I started to basically lose my self love, and that resulted in a lot of internal agitation and an internal conflict. So I was trying to be happy outside, but internally I was not. It affected my relationship, it affected my economic growth, it affected a lot of other things you know so I remember in 2017 I left my college job. I was teaching, doing, working as a professor in journalism. I left my job and I started off with my event company. Even the event company people, I was like directing the event company. Still, I had to go on stage, and people used to say, "Ma'am, you're so talented. आप थोड़ा सा weight lose कर लो." Everybody has this in mind. So I was I was just looking out for ways. Somehow I got into some spiritual mindful techniques. I started doing some courses for self healing, but after that I realized that these things actually have a lot of magical effect on your body, on your mind, on your soul. So the
Mm.
moment I decided to lose weight for myself with all these techniques, it worked wonderfully. I tried for 9 years. I tried everything to lose weight, but I was not able to. But the moment I decided to do it for my own happiness, my soul's happiness, Farida, you won't believe I lost 14 kgs of weight in 6 to 7 months, and it was drastic, and it was visibly visible. Uh, uh, Everybody was seeing it. What is happening? It's like magic was happening, and I know that magic resided in my self love, in the self acceptance. Plus, of course, a big thanks to my mentors and coaches, because when they held my hand and they took me to a trip to inside. We
Mm.
always go trips outside our aura, our energy, our places, but when we go inside, a lot of things starts to happen, a lot of things starts to change, and it actually changed my perception towards how to see life, how to see your energy, how to tame your subconscious mind, and a lot of other things.
Definitely. And in fact, as you say, that the guilt trip which you end up going on, I mean, it's so sad. Yeah, you're trying to be happy because you have just had a little baby. Your body has undergone a certain change. It takes time for you to come back, to that proportion. And then there are these other things which are happening because we need to maintain a certain image. So thank you very much for allowing us to have this sort of an open conversation, Shaina. In fact, I have a lot of things to ask you for that matter. Now, how do you think body shaming impacts an adult? Because we are adults, right? How do you think it
Exactly.
impacts a young child? Now, why am I specifically asking these questions? Because anybody who's a mom, a dad, anybody, I don't know, whoever you are over here, I just want you to understand, because I have come from a counseling background. What usually happens is that we as adults have a filter. If I'm going to throw this cup of water at you, as an adult, you're going to do something, right? You're going to try and save yourself. With the child, they don't have the filter. It just goes directly. They have not learned to have that filter. So from your side, Shaina, I really want to understand that, because you have been into this particular journey, you must have met a whole lot of people. How do you think, it affects them? It affects their image of themselves. It affects their self-esteem. So go ahead. I'm going to give you free India now.
Yeah. So Farida, basically what happens is, you just told people about my this recent talk that I've given on body shaming. I've given one example there, and it was like your body is like a ziddi child, a stubborn child. The more you abuse him or her, the more you say bad things to it, it will start to rebel. So this
Oh,
example is the actual interpretation of your question. Whenever you start to say something to a child in a bad manner or in an assertive manner, he will never listen to you. And what happens is, by repeating those things, you are actually making them hate the other idea. If I would if I keep on trying, keep on saying this to a child, that you are not good looking, you are fat, or you are ugly. Now this word will become a part of his identity. He will
oh
start
wow,
to
yes.
take it that I yes, he'll start to accept it that I'm ugly. Where even for a second, if you'll say, na beta, you are very sweet, or you are very good looking, he'll take it as an insult, because the other idea is a contradiction to his personality.
Hmm.
Whole In his whole life, he become used to hear ugly things about him or her. The moment you start to say something nice to them, they'll feel something nasty is happening. So you are basically training them to think the opposite.
Hmm.
आप
Hmm.
जिस इंसान के साथ ज्यादा रहते हो, you become friend. So he will become a friend with ugliness, with you have seen some people, if you call them in India, we have this habit of saying tum to nalayak ho. So this word nalayak, sometimes there are people, because I've been to teaching, when you tag a child as nalayak, he'll start to behave as if he's a nalayak. Ultimately, he will never listen to the nice things. He'll keep a tag here, yes, I'm nalayak, do whatever you want to do. So in a way, you are basically training them for becoming a bad human being, or a nasty human being, or a very ill-mannered person. So, especially for the parents, if you really want to change something in your kids, please don't tell them that you are ugly, you are nasty, you this and that. Try to choose right words. Let's work on your body. Let's make your body a bit nicer. Let's work on your intelligence. Let's work on your studies. Can
Wow.
we do something better in your studies? But what we choose to do, we choose to speak bad words, negative words, and those negative words become their friends for a longer period of time. This is the biggest mistake we as parents, especially the Indian parents, do. I don't know about Western countries or other countries, but yes, in India, it's a very very regular practice that people, they has this habit of shouting on their kids. It's like their janam siddhadhikar, given in Samvidhan. It's a constitutional right to us to hit your kid and to abuse your kids. But these things actually make
Affect the
them
child.
rigid. Yes, they make them rebel. The more you'll become friendly to them, the more you become nice to them, they'll become your friend and they'll start to listen to you. So choice is yours. You want your child to listen to you, or you want your child to be a rebel, and rather it'll go for their mental issues.
Very beautifully explained, Shaina. In fact, I'm going to say, even digital coach Vaishali has commented here. Shaina, you're explaining it so well. Feeling superb to listen to both of you. Thank you, Vaishali. Thank you so much. I really would love if, parents are over here, even if you're not a parent, just take down whatever she's saying. Seriously, it matters. Okay? For one thing which she said is the tag becomes the child's reality. Uska, it just ऐसा ही हो जाता है कि वो वैसा ही हो जाता है हम ऐसा क्यों करना चाहते हैं वो भी अपने ही बच्चे के साथ सेकेंड थिंग
Farina,
मैं
yeah. I just wanted to add, I'm sorry, but there's a very powerful concept that I teach. It's law of attraction. If you'll just think it on those patterns now, then what we teach in law of attraction, we teach that whatever you say becomes your reality. Whatever you thinks become your reality. Whatever you feels become your reality. Do you really want your child to be ugly? Then start saying ugly, ugly, ugly. If you want your child to be happy and a good soul and fit, start saying it again and again. And you start to attract those energies for that. That is also spiritual part of this thing. You know, power of words we always talk about. You know, law of attraction has a big concept of around power of words, affirmations. So what we are actually doing, we are affirming reversely. We are saying you are too nalayak, too mota, too ugly. We are actually affirming in a wronger way. So बाकी कुछ नहीं समझना है. You don't want to listen to a counselor or a psychologist or anything. Just take it as a spiritual part. You know, don't do this. What you वो माला फेरते हो ना, नलायक नलायक की छोड़ दो and say my child is a the best child, and you will see becoming him the best version of him.
I think it's very important to sit and educate people on this particular concept, China, because ये चीज उन्होंने सोची भी नहीं है कि हो रही है. I'll give you an example. ठीक है, मेरे मेरे सामने हुआ ये. And at that point of time मैंने काउंसलिंग नहीं किया था, ये कुछ भी नहीं किया था. So I was just the bystander, you know, I was like an audience. पर मेरे सामने हुआ है, ठीक है. So there was this girl, पतली दुबली है. She comes in, ठीक है. देयर इज अनदर चाइल्ड हु इज सिटिंग ओवर देयर. अब ये दोनों लड़कियां हैं, ये पतली दुबली है, शी लुक्स रियली ब्यूटीफुल. आई अग्रीड, ये छोटी बच्ची है, पर उससे बट समटाइम्स यू नो थोड़े ओबेस बच्चे बड़े लगते हैं. तो ये जाके उसको बोल रही है तो क्या खा रही है, वाई यू ईटिंग ऑल दैट, डोंट यू नो यू आर फैट. And at one point of time, I saw that girl's face just fall. Okay, she was doing it in front of a lot of people. People are laughing at it. हंस रहे, सब लोग मिलके हंस रहे, उनको बहुत एंजॉयमेंट हो रहा है. मैं मुझको समझ में नहीं आ रहा मजाक है किस टाइप का मजाक है, कि जो बंदा जिसके साथ मजाक तब होता है जब वो सब लोग साथ में हंसे. अगर आप ही अकेले हंस रहे हैं तो मुझे वो मजाक नहीं लगता है. नाउ
Exactly.
हो गया, बट यू नो आई वॉज बिकॉज आई वॉज वॉचिंग इट, मैंने जाके बात किया. आई सेड कांट यू रियलाइज कि उसको कितना बुरा लगा है. उसका
Yes.
आंसर एट टाइम्स मुझे अब भी मुझे उसका आंसर याद है कि हाँ हाँ बोलना चाहिए ना, तो इसको पता चलेगा ना वो मोटी है. आई वॉज लाइक व्हाट, आर यू सीरियस, आर यू रियली
Yes.
सीरियस, why in the world do you want to you know, I mean I was I at that point मैं इतना ज्यादा चौंक गई थी ना. मैंने कुछ बोला ना कुछ भी, ऐसे इधर से निकलो वरना ये कुछ सुन लेगी मेरे मुंह से. So I have
Exactly.
heard that particular point also. But what you are doing right now, Shaina, is the kind of education, the kind it is actually body shaming is a very taboo topic. People don't talk about it. You're talking about it, and I want you to understand that there are a lot of people who need it right now. ये सुनना उनके लिए
Yes.
इतना ज्यादा जरूरी है क्योंकि हो रहा है.
Farida, I just started off with my talk. If you you've seen the video, I started it like that only. A lot of times, unconsciously, we call upon people like ganja hai, mota hai, kala hai, dubla hai, nata hai. You know, ये तो सूखा लकड़ी जैसा है, ये तो you know गोलगप्पा है. Why? And sometimes we don't even have those harsh feelings. You know, I remember when I was teaching one of my student, one of my girl students, she said, "Ma'am, you are just like a teddy bear." I felt so bad. I know being teddy bear is not a bad thing. It's such a cute little thing. But when somebody says you are like a teddy bear, the first thing you feel as if you are somebody with a big bundle of flesh. And it was like, for me it was kind of a insult, whereas she was full of love for me. Sometimes the choice of word is so like we need to actually be, I think this talk will go to a whole together different path or a way. I think first and foremost, all of us need to understand which words we need to use in our routine. Most of our problems starts with words. चाहे वो हम like I've been a teacher for journalism, basically mass communication. So we knew the power of inter communication, interpersonal and intrapersonal.
Hmm.
Interpersonal is when we are talking with other person, and intrapersonal is when we are talking inside us. Both ways. हम जब ग्रुप कम्युनिकेशन कर रहे होते हैं, मास कम्युनिकेशन कर रहे होते हैं, we are very, conscious about the choice of words we have to do. But when we are doing interpersonal, sometimes we forget to, get hold of our vocabulary. And especially when we are doing intrapersonal, तब तो सब गटर चल रहा होता है अंदर. Every person we are saying, अरे ये काला, ये मोटा, ये ऐसा, ये मैं कैसी, मैं ऐसी, मैं लाइक. वी आर यूजिंग. कभी लिखने बैठो कि आप क्या वर्ड्स दिन में सोचते हो, बोलते हो. Your vocabulary, your basic 20 to 30 words that we are using at regular basis actually is the foundation of how your whole life is going to look like. In my
Just
journey, when I was going through problems, the major things I used to think about myself: anxiety हो रही है, depression हो रहा है, headache हो रहा है, lethargy हो रही है. These were my favorite words. Panic attacks, anxiety, these were my go-to words. Now I feel like nothing happens. खाना
Hmm.
देखिए, अरे नहीं, खाना is like my enemy. Oh, oh, oh. Now even if I eat a rasgulla or a gulab jamun or anything, today we went to Gurdwara, I had that kara prasad and I was like, I love it. It's prasad. It's not going to give me any harm. It's going to add nutrition and good vibes to my body. This is how I train my body. I train my mind to think positive. These are just
Beautiful.
simple words.
Beautiful. In fact, what you are saying, Shaina, to all of you amazing people out here, I just want you to understand that, if you feel guilty after looking at food or after eating food, especially if you end up feeling guilty, just understand what you're doing to yourself. क्योंकि ये हो रहा है,
Exactly.
वो गिल्ट फीलिंग के साथ आप कुछ खा रहे हो, तो हाउ डू यू थिंक योर बॉडी के अंदर क्या जाएगा यार? Just think about it. I
Exactly.
think, China, this is such an important topic. I'm so glad you're talking about it. And I know I have chosen the correct person to talk about it. I will pat myself on the back on that.
Thank you.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm a little mindful of what people are saying. The Shelja says, China is my mentor. I feel blessed to have her. I wonder if she was not there. I think, okay, what she meant is, I wonder what would happen if she was not there. Acha. All right,
Yeah.
let me just very, very
And
quickly.
Shalja is the international fashion stylist, and she's a Bollywood fashion stylist, and she herself is a gem of a person and a very strong lady. Thank you, Shalja, for joining in.
Thank you, dear. Masala wala Ahmadiyas. In fact, kids will pick up the words that they hear at home. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you on that. Okay. All right. All right. Fantastic. Let me move on to the next question now. What can we do as a society? How can we heal? Okay. I think you itself said about that, right? That the words would be the healing power. And ओके सो आई गेस दिस क्वेश्चन का आंसर पहले ही दे दिया पर फिर भी मैं क्वेश्चन पूछ लूंगी तो लोगों को पता चल जाएगा कि एज अ सोसाइटी व्हाट कैन वी डू टू हील एंड आई थिंक शाइना ने उसका जवाब मेरे सवाल से पहले ही दे दिया है यूज द करेक्ट चॉइस ऑफ वर्ड्स एम आई राइट शाइना
Yes, exactly. I think forget all therapies, forget all, pathies. Uh, only if the major takeaway from this life, if you can only take this one, that just focus for next 21 days. In spiritual practices, 21 days is said to be a most powerful time. Whatever you do for regularly 21 days becomes a part of your reality. So for 21 days, just be mindful about the choice of words for yourself, for people around you, for society at large. When we say, यार दुनिया का तो बेड़ा गर्क हो गया, दुनिया तो खत्म होने वाली है, दुनिया में तो बेकार लोग भरे हुए हैं, बेईमान लोग भरे हुए हैं, इंडिया तो खत्म होने वाला है, इंडिया में तो की पॉलिटिक्स ये है वो. We are what we are doing, we are basically polluting the energy of our country.
Exactly.
Collective energy is polluting with our thoughts. There are a lot of experiments have been done where a lot of monks done have done prayers or spiritual healings collectively at one point of time, and within within a small portion of time, crime start to decrease. There was an experiment done somewhere in in the West, that a lot of monks got together and they did some spiritual healings in a city, and within next 20 days the crime of that city went down. What happened?
Mm.
Energetically they cleansed the that
Or
city.
of the city.
So what we are doing, especially with India, we are trained to say bad things about politicians, bad things about people in administration. We have problems with everything. What we are doing, अगर आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते ना, start speaking nicely, start attracting those vibes, start. We are becoming a best India again. We are going to become the golden sparrow again. Just start to do. We are hundreds crores, we are millions, billions. So if we will start to do this again and again, see how energetically we are going to get benefit out of it. We are the core culprits. We are just polluting our energy.
I so
That
totally
is
agree.
the
In fact, as Shaina has said, everybody, it starts with you. And she even gave you a tip, for 21 days, start using the words. I would say that list bana do. Positive words का जो भी है list बना दो. In fact, if you just Google it, आपको बहुत सारे मिल जाएंगे. Make a list of that and consciously maybe just start using that list and let us know how you feel, after having done this exercise. क्योंकि हम 21 days का बात कर रहे हैं, so we'll give you enough time. Come back to us. We would love to hear from you again. Yeah.
And
And
Farida,
if you come back, yeah, बोलिए बोलिए.
you talked about kids, no? A simple tip to all the mothers who are very, very tensed or stressed about how these kids are going to do in their future, rather than just becoming stressful about them for 21 days, just choose the words that you want your kid to become
Yeah.
as. you know if you want your kids to become nice to you, and full of etiquettes or obedient, choose these words.
Responsible.
ये
Mm.
मत बोलो कि वो मेरा तो बड़ा जिद्दी है, वो तो बड़ा नॉटी है. Start to say, God, I want him to become obedient. So my son is going to be obedient up, after this. Up until
Mm.
now, you remember, up until now, he was naughty. Up until now he is on a journey to become responsible and obedient. Just
Mm.
chant
Mm.
this, make this affirmations. We all make affirmations for our own self. A lot of people do affirmations. Affirmation is like, I think it is the most talked about concept nowadays. A lot of people, जो जिसको कुछ भी नहीं पता, उसको ये पता है affirmation होती है कुछ, positive
मेरा
sentences that
नेक्स्ट
you use for
क्वेश्चन ही
yourself.
होने वाला था. मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन ही होने वाला था. एंड इनफैक्ट मैं इसलिए पूछना चाहती थी, शाइना. यू रिमेम्बर वी हैड अ क्लास टुगेदर, राइट? हम पूरा ग्रुप में थे और देयर वाज अ क्लास गोइंग ऑन. गाइस, आई टेल यू समथिंग. देयर वाज समथिंग शाइना टोल्ड मी. इट जस्ट, यू नो वो पूरे एफर्मेशंस का, ये आ गया, उसका खुलासा निकल गया मेरे लिए. इट वाज सो ब्यूटिफुली सेड. So, Shaina, do share some affirmations, and there are a lot of hearts and things coming up for you. I just want to be a little mindful. And there's Palak Sharma saying, Shaina ma'am, I love your voice, so mesmerizing. Yes, absolutely. She is
Thank you.
amazing, guys. Do listen to her, follow her page. It's known as Mystic Shaina. Okay. So what affirmation, because we are talking on the topic of affirmation, what affirmation would you suggest for people who are struggling with releasing their weight, or rather releasing the weight of other people on them?
Yes. So basically, what affirmation is, people who are new to this concept, I'll make it very easy. Affirmations. Anything that you want to affirm, जो आप चाहते हो कि हो जाए, these are magical sentences. Take my words on these. Right? So whatever you want your life to look like, just make those sentences. If I say, जैसे मेरी जर्नी में हुआ, I was saying, I have anxiety of having, मैं मोटी हूँ इसलिए मुझे anxiety है. I have a lot of weight, that is why I'm going through panic attacks. These were my affirmations. I was doing it again and again, and I was getting more stressful. The moment I said, now I am on a journey of weight loss, even if a pinch of weight, even some grams of weight used to dig down, I used to say, oh my God, zero point 0.5 kgs lost. So that I started to celebrate 0.5 kgs. Can you imagine? आगे क्या होता था, 2 किलो ज्यादा था, मुझे लगता है हाय मैं 7 दिन भूखा रही और 2 किलो गया. एंड वो 2 किलो भी कहता था नहीं चाहिए ना, आ रहा हूँ वापस. I was affirming it. So the moment I said, oh wow, half kg gone, so good. And this has become my affirmation. The celebration became my affirmation. The wow became my affirmation. So simple tip, and I call it the master affirmation, and it worked for a lot of my clients. Most of the time what we start to say is, आप हो 90 kgs के और आप बोल रहे हो I am slim, I am slim, I am slim. Your subconscious mind is, or your logical mind is not ready to accept it, right? So what we need to say is, I am ready to get slim, I am ready to lose weight. Now, what you are going to tell your mind, or what you're going to program your mind for, is to be in the receptive mode. When you
Mm.
say, I'm ready to receive 100 rupees, so mind will say, yes, he is ready. So the energy will change, the energy will be up. चाहे आप 90 किलो के हो, आप कह रहे हो, I am ready to be 60 kgs. Now your logical mind will not have any question mark. उसको पता है अभी ये 90 का है, but he is ready. So what happen is, your
Wow.
energy will become positive,
Oh, wow.
and then you start to manifest it in your body, because I always say, it starts from here, it executes here. What we starts to do, we try to start from here, कि फिर माइंड खुश होगा जब पतली हो जाऊंगी. मैं खुश हूं क्योंकि मैं पतली हो रही हूं.
Mm.
Just
Wow.
reverse it. So this is a master affirmation. Just say, I am ready to receive, and fill in the blanks. I am ready to receive a handsome man in my life. I am ready to receive the love of my friends. I am ready to receive $100 million. I am ready
Yeah.
to receive a Nobel Prize
Yes.
whatsoever. I am ready to receive a yummy food
Yes.
item, है ना? So just, even I used to say, I am ready to receive a warm hug from my son. Anything. I'm ready to receive a loving phone call from my husband. So you just become in that receptive mode. Your energy starts to, tingle up, and the aura will starts to change. And wherever you'll go, that aura will go with you, and you start to see positivity in the mind of others. I remember, Farida, when I just lost 5 to 6 kgs, people starts to notice it.
Mm.
Earlier, when I used to lose weight, मुझे बताना पड़ता था, यार पता है मेरा 4 किलो चला गया. But and people, अच्छा अभी तो लग नहीं रहा. Now, when this time when I lost weight, after even 5 6 kgs, people start to ask me, you have lost a lot of weight, because actually I was celebrating that weight. I
Mm.
was celebrating that 4 or 5 kgs lost. That positivity was blooming around myself. It's like जुगनू घूम रहे थे मेरे आसपास, and they felt it. Whenever a person comes to you with a smile, you feel it. We feel it. We actually, all of us, चाहे हम energy healings में है नहीं है, coach है नहीं है, spiritual है नहीं है, we read energy. This is our basic talent. हमारे घर में कोई आता है, अगर वो बहुत खिजा सड़ा आता है, हमें पता चल जाता है कि ये बंदा अच्छी वाइब लेके नहीं आया है. So
Mm.
the
Mm.
moment you go with such a beauty around your aura to someone, they will notice it, and you'll start to get compliments every day, and those compliments will add more fuel to your fire.
Absolutely. This is so beautiful. In fact, anybody who's watching it or just joining in, I would love for you to go and re-watch it because this is such an amazing concept. As you know, as Shaina said, okay, you're not allowing your logical mind to talk. There's this small voice which goes on doing patar 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 in our head, and I am ready to be whatever. Just silences that voice. I mean, that's amazing. That's just amazing. I would love for you to just go ahead and see this once again because this is so amazing, guys, that you have. I mean, Shaina, this is so lovely which you have shared, and I want to thank you on behalf of all of us together. I'm sure they are going to come back and thank you as well. At the same time, a little mindful, I have a question from Rush Mush. She has said, I would like to know that if something has happened in past and is affecting till now would stop happening if we start believing that it never happened. And uh, your life is samne. It was that incident never happened in your. It was like maybe the incident never happened in your life. So okay, so maybe the incident has happened, but she wants to forget it. I think I'm going to
Yeah,
make
yeah.
it a little,
So for releasing any negative impact of your life, what happens is sometimes we want to be in an escape zone. That is the biggest mistake we do. What you need to do, you accept what has happened, accept it with grace. It was part of your life, it was a chapter, it was a part of your story, and struggles make stories. Have you ever heard or been impressed by any story which was full of roses? No. Even the best of the love stories in the words are those who have had a lot of pain. Why we idolize people who had a very bad upbringing, or a very sad stories, and at the end they become the heroes and the warriors and the soul, victory takers. So
Mm.
take it like that. Whatever has happened has was there to teach you something. Once
Mm.
you accepted that this happened, this was a bad phase of my life, what it has taught me, actually it was there to give you a new perspective. अगर देखो मेरे साथ हुआ क्या हुआ, I was so happy 17 years 18 years में I was a VJ, I was an RJ, I was so happy. मैं कई बार सोचती हूँ कि अगर जिंदगी वैसी ही रहती तो आज मैं किसी चैनल के साथ बहुत अच्छा पे पैकेज लेके काम कर रही होती. And it has to be a very stagnant life. What happened to me? From 55 kgs to I turned 85 kgs. Now from 85 kgs I'm going back to 55 or 60 kgs. This is my victory. This is a story I can tell. This has become my story. अगर ऐसा नहीं होता तो मैं आज बॉडी शेमिंग के बारे में बात नहीं कर रही होती, इतने लोग मेरे से हेल्प नहीं ले रहे होते, मेरे पास एक एक ऐसी चीज नहीं होती जिसके बारे में मैं प्राउड हूँ. सो एक्सेप्ट इट विद ग्रेस दैट this has happened to me, and see how beautifully, gracefully I came out of it. I've learned the lesson. I'm not going back there. I'm not going to be that again, because I've learned the lesson. So accepting your reality with grace is also very important. Being in an escape zone is not going to help you anyway. Make
I think you're
affirmations
very
for this.
well proven.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Then,
make an affirmation that whatever happened to my life, I accepted it. Now I'm ready for a new and a better life. This
oh
can be
wow.
your affirmation.
I hope you are listening because this is so important. Just write it down, whatever she has said. I totally agree with her. Whatever happened, there was a lesson. The moment you decide to accept it, you decide to acknowledge that lesson. And you know what? You will close that cycle. वरना उसी
Exactly.
में फिरते रहोगे आप. Get out of that
Exactly.
cycle. Yeah. कब तक उसी में
जैसे मैं
फिरते
आपको
रहोगे.
there's an exercise ना कि आपको बोलो कि if you have to, if you want this medicine to work, don't think about a monkey, and your mind will keep thinking about that monkey. Our mind is trained like that. जो चीज आप बोलोगे ना इस चीज को मैंने भूलना है, basically what you are doing, you're focusing that on that thing कि इसको भूलना है. You every day you think इसको भूलना है, इसको भूलना है. So what you are basically doing, you are actually getting it back again and again. Accept it कि हाँ एक बंदर है और वो था और उसकी वजह से प्रॉब्लम हुई है, अब ये नहीं है. नाउ आई एम रेडी टू मूव आउट ऑफ दिस जोन.
Very
ठीक है
beautifully
ना?
explained, Shaina. Very beautifully explained. I hope you got your answer, Rashmush. Okay. For anybody, if you are having any questions, you can go ahead, ask right now, or you are free to go follow Mystic Shaina because मेरे questions तो over है भाई. आपके है आप पूछिए. Now I do understand that automatically suddenly questions आपको प्रकट नहीं होंगे. After we have finished, suddenly कुछ ना कुछ आएगा. आप comment कर सकते हैं या फिर go ahead and knock on Shaina's messages. Give a complete message. I'm dead sure she will answer you back on that. With that, Shaina, I think this was such an amazing session. I so
थैंक यू.
totally, I am, what is the word for it? I'm not getting the words also, but I would say that I really appreciate the fact that you came, the amazing conversation which we have had. For anybody and everybody who has been watching and who will, watch it at a later on stage, you can see the amount of hearts which are coming for you. They're going to, see things with a new perspective, and that is so important, especially for people who are suffering this body shaming. They are going to love you too. I think that the fact that you are allowing people, or you are teaching people to be ready to accept a new you, a new themselves, is a service in itself. And thank you so much for being a part of this live, Shaina. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so blessed to have amazing people like you in my life, because you guys, uh, all of you girls, all of you coaches, my tribe is a powerhouse. Whenever I see all of you working in your sphere, I got a lot of fuel to work more on. And initially, I was very hesitant to talk about my journeys, weight and all. But now it's like it is you guys are giving me a safe space to talk about it. So this, thank you so much for giving this safe space, and thank you for making me able to serve others who are suffering with things like these.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And I think I feel at this point of time, it's very necessary to speak about it. Very necessary, because a topic like this is never going to come out. People don't even know that they are doing this harm. So rather
Yes,
than being in a blank spot, why not, that रोशनी क्यों ना हो, थोड़ा सा रोशनी भी आपको रास्ता एक अलग ही दिशा बता सकता है. So क्यों ना हो. So
exactly.
again, thank you very much. And for everybody else who has been watching, who is watching, और जो बाद में देखेंगे, thank you very much for being with us. I really appreciate it. And this is Farida Bharmal with Shaina saying bye-bye.
Thank you.